Okay. So now, this is Sunday Satsang, questions and answers. Anybody has any questions? Sannyasi Baba. No questions? Okay. Muralika. Yeah. How do I get out of here? Hare Krishna. Questions? Yeah. Oh wait. Go ahead. Yeah.
When Manjari do any service, for example, paint Radharani's feet, they think, Manjari think, when she's painting Radharani's feet, that this foot-like will be on the forehead of Krishna. So she also feels, oh, I will paint so nicely, these marks will be on Krishna. But do Radha Krishna also think when they see these marks about this Manjari? Because in some parivar, every Manjari doing particular things, and she say, oh, this Manjari made this painting, or do others it doesn't matter. So do they think about it, or just...
What do you mean exactly? Ask the question again. Okay, the Manjari's paints are on his feet, and sometimes not every second, every day, occasionally.
Yes.
Krishna holds her on his feet on his forehead.
Yes. And does Radharani think, oh, this is mark, but this is painting of my Manjari?
Of course. Everything is personal there. We're trying to show you that world. Everything is appreciated, everything is recognized, nothing is, no one ever complains about not being appreciated in the spiritual world, or not being, was my service accepted? That's why one has to always has to be in contact with that kind of energy, that kind of spiritual energy, to bring that energy down to this world, to distribute to others, so you have an idea. So your answer, your question, should be found in your dealings with your guru. In other words, you do a service to guru, he doesn't say anything about it. You're supposed to just say, why should I get lost, You're supposed to cook, you're supposed to it's not, Krishna's the most personal, he's the supreme personality of God. Personality means what? Personality means a person, means personal dealings. It's not a computer. So, he's not a computer, he's not a robot, not an AI robot. He's Bhagavan, Ishvara, and he's Prem Sarup, he's the embodiment of love. So loving person represents, loving guru is supposed to represent the loving person, Krishna. So he appreciates every little thing. Like Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, people would give him $5. One guy sent him $5 in the mail. Prabhupada sent him a letter back. Srila Prabhupada sent a $5 bill wrapped up in paper so the postman wouldn't steal it. So he couldn't see it. $5 is nothing. And Prabhupada wrote back, Dear Mr. Smith, thank you very much for your $5 donation. So Prabhupada's such a big personality, such a big guru, big at society, he took out his time to personally type a letter to send to someone. So you think when you get to the spiritual world, you're just some slave?
No, I mean, do they remember that? Of course it's our goal to serve,
The deeper thing to understand about that particular statement is that lack is you. So you have to understand, here's the difference between subject and object. I'm a subject, I'm moving this object. This object is not me. This object, I'm a subject. But there, the subject and object are one, because everything is consciousness. I'm consciousness, this is consciousness. So the lack is also conscious. So when you put the lack on, that's your lack, that's your that's you. So more than you're painting Radharani's feet a red color. It's called lac, L-A-C. You're painting. That means you're on Radharani's feet. It's not some red dye like when nail polish. It's not. That's the person. That's your love and your seva on the feet of Radharani. So when Radharani puts her feet on Krishna's head, Krishna lovingly holds her in a flower bed or whatever, and Radharani's lying there, Krishna picks her feet up, puts them on his head to show his submission and love and honor to Radharani. Then you're on Krishna's head. As you are that lac. There's no difference. We say, Namrukun Lila is all shit, it's all spiritual energy. Krishna's name is transcendental, his form is transcendental, his qualities are transcendental, his leelas are transcendental, his holy dhamma is transcendental, his paraphernalia, Sadhinam Samarchanam, it's all transcendental. Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vitamanti, everything is transcendental. So it's all consciousness. So when the lac is you're on Radharani's feet all day running everywhere around. And the perfection you're hoping when you're putting that lac on, you're hoping I end up on Krishna's forehead. Nice. Because this is one of the 7 erotic places on the body. 7 when you kiss when a man kisses a woman kisses a man, there's 7 places: forehead, cheeks, lips, etc. Neck, forehead, cheeks, lips, etc. So now you're kissing Krishna's forehead with through the via medium Radharani's feet and your lac. That's pretty intimate. That's Madhuri Rati, that's amorous love. You're taking direct part in amorous love. If you could understand how deep your seva is, you'd be in bliss. Every seva is very, very deeply connected. You have to trace it out. You have to see it. You can see it better now? Can you see it better now? It's not, do they know? They of course know who did it. Maybe if it's done very nice, Krishna will put the via. Hey, this is nice paint job. Look through, who did this? Oh, so-and-so Seki did this. So-and-so does it. Okay, good. Brilliant question, great question. This question transports us to the spiritual world. Teleporting, transporting. We leave this domain and go to there. Place of Leela, the place of love, the place of joy, eternal. Questions? Madhuri, when will my work end? Let's quit tomorrow then. Quit our ostomy. You tell your father you're quitting. Tell him I told you. Just quit that job. I'll give you a job. You want a job? Rasai come. No pay though. But a good retirement fund. You can retire in Vrindavan. Golok Vrindavan. Nandakanda Bhagavan ki.
Yeah.
Bolo.
Gurudev, in first canto, second chapter, the description of it gives that Chidyante Sarva Samshayam means all the karma destroys. Drishta Evatma Nishchara, when someone sees Krishna inside within him.
Where's Bhava?
Yes. Means when he talks of Bhava stage, yes. And the same description is like at the time of Diksha also. Like all the sins, all the karma. Means how to understand both.
The question is about the first canto of Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2. It describes the gradual process from Shraddha to Prem, and a series of Sanskrit verses describe and define the characteristics of faith in God, and then associating with saintly people, and then beginning of spiritual practice, sadhana bhakti, sadhana bhajan, bhakti yoga, and then purification of the heart and mind, and that's anartha nivritti. Becoming steady in the practice of bhakti yoga, that's called nishta, and getting actual taste and spiritual happiness from practicing, that's called ruchi. And then becoming very attached to the practice of bhakti and attached to Krishna's name and form and seva, that's called a sakti. And in Bhava we start to feel spiritual emotions, may cry, may hair stand on end, and then finally attain full love of God, prema, pure love of God, and all the ecstasies and joy and happiness that go with it. So in the stage of Bhava, it's just defining the stage of Bhava, that all karmas are destroyed. And that sounds like the description of Diksha in Atilila and other places. Because all karma, when they say all karma, it means all four stages of karma. Diksha is, at time of Diksha, it's like this. The analogy is very nice that Prabhupada gave. You have this fan. You turn this fan off. There's no power going to the fan, but it still keeps moving. And after 5 minutes, it stops. So the same thing at Diksha, the plug is pulled out of your karma, because you're not all you're doing now is spiritual activity. There's no more karma. So at the time of Diksha, all your karma is stopped. There's no more karma. So now, by the process of Diksha, you no more karma going on. You're only doing spiritual activities, bhakti bhajan, which destroys all the karma. That's in Bhakti, Brahma Samhita. Karmani nirhati kintucha bhakti bhajan. By doing bhakti bhajan, karma is all destroyed. So at the time of Diksha, it just says your karma is destroyed. It means the progress of your karma, the continuation of your karma is destroyed. You're on your way to liberation now. Prabdha karma is not destroyed, but bijam is destroyed, and kutam and aprabdha are destroyed. That's why there's no future birth for a devotee as long as he doesn't commit any aparadhs and attains prema. Yeah, that's a very nice verse. First canto, chapter 2 is all this Siddhanta. You have to get some Hindi book with more commentaries, would be good. The more commentaries you read in that chapter, the deeper you understand the philosophy. Snan, Jiva, Vishna, Bhavacharya, whatever you can get. Sambodhini, whatever. I forget the commentary of. I think it's Sambodhini, the commentary of Bhavacharya. Arvatam. Maybe PDF on the internet, maybe in Hindi if you get it. Because you have to become guru. You're guru by birth, but now you have to become guru by training. Gaudiya Vaisnava. You have to become a guru. Carry on the line. Carry on our parivar. Krishna sent you for that. That's why you took birth. This is your assistant. He checks your Sanskrit. If your Sanskrit editor of your books. Question. Akshay Patra Baba. Draupadi Baba. A question? Come on, were you sleeping last week? Sleeping all week, ate too much Mahaprasad and Janmashtami, didn't study. Supposed to be a smart guy, what happened? Study more, right? Get more questions. Don't come here without questions. Yeah.
In Bhagavatam, while describing the Brahmanas' wives that passed in 10th canto, Krishna Chakravarti writes that Kripa Shakti of Krishna actually delivered Bali Maharaj, Brahmanas' wives, and many he says that just by Kripa Shakti, they all got delivered. So,
That's nectar devotion also.
yes, Guru. So that same Kripa Shakti is manifesting in as a Guru in a devotee's lives. That same thing.
Well, the question is about Kripa Siddhi.
Kripa Shakti, yes, that potency, Kripa Shakti, Guru, not Siddhi. That
Kri-
Kripa Shakti that is present in Krishna is manifesting in Guru. Is that same thing?
Yeah, well, the Kripa Shakti of Krishna. Kripa Shakti of Krishna is explained in Bhakti-rasa Sindhu that simply by its Kripa people got siddhi, got perfection
Yes.
without even practicing bhakti.
Yeah.
And the example is the wives of the Brahmins and
Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj and third person, I forget. This is Bhakti-rasa Sindhu. So as that Shakti of Krishna gives perfection to people outside the bhakti, the same as the Shakti of manifests the Kripa Shakti of Guru. No, it's not. Because Guru makes you do sadhana. Yeah, the question is that Kripa Shakti of Krishna that he bestows upon people, it automatically gives them siddhi without any practice, is that Kripa Shakti manifests in Guru? And I said no, because the Guru makes you do sadhana. But it's also told in the Bhava Bhakti chapter of Bhakti-rasa Sindhu that one can attain Bhava, can attain perfection by Alokadan, by Vachikadan, and Soharadan. So what this means is one can, okay, insect. Six-legged. I have two-legged. He has six. He's better than me. I only have two legs. He has six. He's better. So this verse explains that if you meet a great devotee, like we have this thing called Shakti Pot. Shakti Pot is in yoga. This person has a stick and he charges that stick with some Shakti and he touches it with the stick, he gets some power. So it explains that someone can get bhava just by a glance of a guru, or by the words of the guru, or by heartfelt feelings. Well, this is an example of Kripa Siddhi. So gurus can also have a similar power. But Krishna's power, he showed that power. What was the power? You understand the degree of power by its effect. So Krishna's Kripa Shakti gave siddhi, gave perfection to people without sadhana. The Guru's Kripa Shakti is he gives shiksha, he gives teachings, and gives a method of bhajan, which you practice, and then you become perfect by practicing that bhajan. So his Kripa Shakti is expressed, and the effect of the Guru's Kripa Shakti is different than Krishna's direct Kripa Shakti. It's all coming from Krishna. But when Krishna puts the Kripa Shakti in the hands of the Guru is supposed to be a teacher. He's supposed to give diksha and shiksha. Guru Parashraya Dikshari Shikshana. This is the meaning of Guru. Krishna doesn't have to, Krishna's Swatantra. Krishna's Swatantra is independent. He can do whatever he wants. But if you're a Guru, you have to act like a Guru. Krishna tells how Guru is supposed to act. Guru is supposed to give diksha, mantra diksha, and shiksha. And by mantra diksha and shiksha, the person will get perfection. That's all we're told everywhere. Guru is always giving diksha and giving shiksha. That's the meaning of Guru. Guru can't give just diksha without shiksha. But Krishna, he can do it. He can. Putin came to kill Krishna, poisoned Krishna, and Krishna gave her prema and liberated her and gave her a spiritual body all at one time, instantaneously. Gave her prema, killed her, and gave her a spiritual body. Bingo. So Guru can't give that kind of kripa. You just don't initiate and just give prema, kill everybody. You give the whole world prema, kill everybody, set everybody in the spiritual world. But that's not the way it works. You have to surrender, do sadhana bhakti, and get mercy of Guru and Krishna. And Vaishnavas, and you get blessings, you attain perfection, you get mercy, and go to Krishna. That's an interesting question. I like that question. Akshay Patra Bhava.
Many devotees in it. It's kind of like.
We don't usually mention any institutions.
Some
Because
devotees.
Akshay Patra is Draupadi's pot. It's okay. Forgive. You can buy that. Poor guy. I'm sorry. He's my son, so I'm the father. I'm responsible. So I'm begging forgiveness. Forgive me, my son's little. You'll see, he becomes a superstar. Someday you'll see how great he is. I can see already. What's the question? Come on, Jack. What's the question?
The question is, some devotees have achieved perfection by doing Nam Sankirtan. So,
What do they do?
Nam
Harinam
Sankirtan.
Sankirtan.
Harinam Sankirtan.
That's good.
So, and there are various other services also. So the most prime services
What's the question? I know what you're telling me. I know all that stuff.
can we achieve perfection only by Harinam Sankirtan or other means like services also can.
Can we attain perfection only by Harinam Sankirtan? Why not? Who's saying you can? Because if you do Harinam Sankirtan, you get the mercy of Krishna. And Krishna reveals the truth and reveals what you have to do. You get a vision of what you have to do. Atasi Krishna Namadi Navaladra Vindre Sevamake Jiva Swayameva you gotta drink Smurti. Drink Smurti means darshan. Darshan means to see the truth. See the truth means philosophy, means tattva siddhanta. So you're chanting Harinam Sankirtan, Krishna, and you're chanting without aparat and sincerely, Krishna will give you intelligence how to progress in bhakti. And you progress in bhakti by practicing Vaidhi sadhana, Raganuga sadhana, and Bhav sadhana, and Bhava bhakti and Prema bhakti. It's how you progress in bhakti. So your question is, chanting Hare Krishna alone will definitely give you perfection, because Krishna will give you the intelligence. I think the treble's too high or something. Right. You can hear it? It's okay now? Right, okay, thank you. Well, you tell me to answer your question. Verse 10:10, Gita. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 10. Jose. Tesham sadadayuktanam
Rajatam priti purvakam
Rami Buddhiyogam tam yena mama vyanti te. So if you're chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Krishna gives you the intelligence how to do Bhakti Bhajan properly. So to do Bhakti Bhajan properly, you need guru, you need teacher, and proper teacher. Bhajan, there's steps to prema. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it's a handbook of Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Bhajan. So you're chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Why are you chanting Hare Krishna mantra? To attain perfection in Bhakti Bhajan and Bhakti Yoga. So perfection starts Vaidhi Bhakti, then Raganuga Bhakti, then Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. You have to go through these stages. You're trying to say, I just chant Hare Krishna, I don't care about Raganuga Bhakti, then you're not going to get there. You're not chanting very good Hare Krishna. If you're chanting Hare Krishna and you have the conviction and conclusion that you don't need to practice Raganuga Bhakti, you're a fool. But you can't practice Raganuga Bhakti without the mercy of Krishna giving you that rag, or a Vaishnava giving you that rag. On your own you can't get it. So if Krishna likes you, or a Vaishnava likes you, they'll bless you with that lobha for Brajamaya Bhakti, lobha, for greed and interest to follow the Brajvasis and worship them. That's the only way you get Radha Krishna, is by Raganuga Bhakti. So chanting Hare Krishna is the foundation of all practices. So anyone who wants to attain perfection, invite you back to your praying bhakti or anywhere, praying bhakti or chanting Prem Nam, and Baba bhakti or chanting Baba Nam. But you have to follow the system. Our guru is Rupa Raghunath. So if you're not following the guru, you can't get perfection. You can't start chanting Hare Krishna perfection. What is chanting Hare Krishna perfection? That's true, but that means also chanting Hare Krishna plus following Rupa Raghunath. Don't be lazy. People are trying to be lazy. They say, oh, just see Hare Krishna. That means they're too lazy, too stupid or too lazy to study. Success in Bhakti Yoga is for yogis, not for lazy people. You have to study, you have to do bhajan with proper siddhanta, proper tattva siddhanta, otherwise you won't be successful. You won't please Krishna. Krishna gave all these books. We have to study them and know them. People make it sound like, I just chant Hare Krishna. I just do Ragnubhakti. Ragnubhakti we chant 64 rounds a day. That's not chanting Hare Krishna. That's also chanting Hare Krishna. Six Goswamis chant 64 rounds every day. And they study all these books, they wrote all these books. They wrote them just to pass the time. No, they wrote them to teach us how to do bhakti, how to do bhajan. Because we have to, chanting purifies the mind. Well, what elevates the heart? What softens the heart? The heart is softened by associating with prema bhaktas. Where the prema bhaktas means the teachings of the acharyas. So if you're not studying and not submitting yourself and surrendering to the books of the acharyas, you're not accessing the heart of the acharyas. If you don't get the heart of the acharyas, you don't get the bhav and prema of their heart in your heart. You become you get sattvic man. Sattvic when you get a pure mind, but that's not enough. You have to have a heart, soft heart. Chitta masrinya, chitta bhava, chitta bhava bhakti is soft heart, softened by bhakti bhajan and by mercy of sadhus. The kriya enters your heart and your heart becomes soft with sentiments and emotions. Spiritual sentiments and emotions. That's a bluff. That's a bluff of modern devotees. I'm just chanting Hare Krishna. I just chant Hare Krishna to get perfection. Vishnu describes in Madhurya Kadambini, he says, sadhana sadhya tattva vibram. Be bewildered about you're bewildered, confused about the practice of sadhana and the goal to be achieved by sadhana bhakti. The method, the means, and the end. What is the end to be accomplished, and what is the way to get there? Oh, just chant Hare Krishna. That's Prabhupada. Why Prabhupada wrote 100 books? Prabhupada wrote 100 books for nothing? Commentaries on Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasa Siddhanta. Come on. To do bhakti, you need a brain and a heart. There's many vidagdha bhaktas, clever bhaktas, trying to find easy. Because you could just say, are you saying, no, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. I just chant Hare Krishna. You just put your beads in the back of your hand and go to sleep on the couch. Put the bead bag in your hand and go sit on the couch. First you just lean, and then you put your feet up and go to sleep. Why Krishna gave us a brain? To sleep or what? Your brain is used for thinking, meditation. Shravanam, mananam, dhyanam, hearing, reading, contemplation, meditation, manana, contemplation, dhyana, meditation. And then we get sporti, we get vision, we get darshan. In India, the word for philosophy is darshan. Darshan means to see. We take darshan of Thakurji. So philosophy means that body of knowledge, that body of wisdom, which enables you to see God. Tattvadarshi. Tavidi pranipatena pariprasnena sevya uvidakshanti tegam ganas darshana. Very interesting word. In the Indian philosophy it's called darshan. Saddarshan, 6 philosophies of India. Karma Mimamsa, Tarka, whatever, I forget. You know? One is Karma Mimamsa, and there's 6 different philosophies. So we're studying Bhagavad philosophy, Vaishnava philosophy. Savashesh Brahma, God with qualities, name, form, Nam, Rup, Gun, Lila. Nice question. Often asked question. I had that question asked 100 times. That questions go in there, Baba.
I read one quote of Satyananda's Babaji's that you may be intelligent, but when samskara is triggered, you lose your intelligence. So, Gurudev, what is the right way to deal with samskaras when it hits us? Because when it hits us, despite knowing it is wrong, we do it.
Samskaras, the question is asked, samskaras, which means tendencies to think and act in a certain way, which are stored in our subconscious mind, and in certain circumstances, excite those samskaras and cause us to act sinfully or wrongly. So how come, even if we have intelligence, our intelligence gets overruled by our powerful desires? So what do we do at a time like that? How we lose our intelligence? That's described in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 61. Dayato Vishyan Pumsam Sangat Sanjayate. Krishna says in Gita, if one contemplates objects of senses, one develops attachment. From attachment, lust arises. From lust, one becomes angry, because if he doesn't satisfy his lust. Then from anger, he becomes bewildered. When you're bewildered, you lose your intelligence and act simply or crazily. So that's when you have to take shelter of Krishna, because you can only overcome Maya by taking shelter of Krishna. And the fastest and most powerful way to take shelter of Krishna is to chant His holy name. Because Krishna is His holy name. As soon as you chant Krishna's name in a prayerful mood, in a mode of crying for help, Krishna, please save me, please help me, Krishna comes to your side and helps you control your senses and protects you from Maya. He promises that in Gita. Kanteya praticanahi name bhakti pranashiti. When we take shelter in Krishna, He's not defeated. So we take shelter in Krishna by chanting His name, and the more you chant Hare Krishna mantra, the more pure your heart and mind become, and the more you become free from the impulses and influence of your samskaras. Your mundane material samskaras get removed and get replaced by bhakti samskaras. Material samskaras make you think, I am a man, I am a woman, I need this material thing, I want this material thing. And they get replaced by spiritual samskaras, which are called bhakti samskaras, which make you think, I am Krishna Das, I am Krishna Dasi, I want to serve Krishna like this, I want to serve Krishna like that. So it's a change of desire and change of identity, which is brought about by bhakti bhajan. Now we have material identity, material desires, which are all due to material samskaras stored in our chitta, which is compared to the subconscious mind. There's indriya, there's man, there's buddhi, there's chitta, there's hankar, and then there's atma. These are the coverings. The coverings of atma. Atma is covered by hankar, atma is covered by chitta, atma is covered by buddhi and man and indriya. These are all covered. Chitta, C-H-I-T-T-A, chitta. You can compare chitta to the subconscious mind. The working mind is the active mind that we work with, thinking, feeling, willing, sankalpa, vikalpa, accepting, rejecting mind. Sankalpa means accepting, vikalpa means rejecting. Thinking mind, feeling mind, willing mind, that's the conscious material mind. Then there's subconscious mind, which shows itself in dreams. What you're really made of, what you're really hidden desires. This is where in the subconscious mind is chitta. That's why you dream some extraordinary, amazing things that are stored in your subconscious mind from last life as some scars, impressions. Like oftentimes Vata people dream of flying. People are Vata Prakriti, skinny people that dream flying dreams. They're like Superman or Superwoman. That is kind of dream? They're flying. They don't sit on my guest. This guy's giving too much trouble. Why a wire? It's very like a football. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe Shyam. Ananda Karma Bhagavan Ki Jai. So what happened now? Where are we? Mars or Moon? Where are we going? Going to some planet. Aditya too. What's the question? Yeah, what's the question?
It's one question only, Gurudev, 2 times here.
You do that question. Jai Radhe. Okay, what's the question there? Radhe, 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 Govinda. Radhe, 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 Radhe. No question.
One question only 2 times he has written.
Question. You came with a question? No. Okay. No. Akshay Patra Baba. Yeah.
Narad Muni's story, did he take initiation from Bhaktivedanta, the sadhus?
Questions about Narada Muni. His mother was serving some saintly people, saintly Vaishnavas during Chaturmasya. Did Narada Muni take Diksha from those saintly persons? I can't remember. The question is, did he take Diksha? I can't remember the answer to that. But he heard a lot of Shiksha, and there's a good chance that they didn't give him formal Diksha, but they advised him to chant Nam Sankirtan. We see that Narada Muni was chanting a mantra. What mantra was he chanting? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So either because he heard Shiksha from these sadhus, so when the sadhus give class on Bhagavatam, before they give class they say, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Prahlad Maharaj was a young boy, he's sitting in class with these Bhaktivedanta sadhus. They're called Bhaktivedantas, they're very advanced Vaishnava sadhus, and they were speaking Bhagavatam every day, and Narada Muni was hearing that from them. So maybe he got the idea that this is a nice mantra, he liked it. Like some people walk by a Hare Krishna group chanting on the street and they hear the Hare Krishna mantra, and they like it. They sing along, or they see it written on the card, they got a card, and they start singing it. So they may chant the mantra, and by chance they may chant without offense, namabhas, accidentally chanting, and they get a great benefit from that. So Narada Muni, of course, attained perfection, got a Siddhanta, and he was chanting mantra, and he attained Bhava and praying before he had darshan. He was in Bhava Bhakti when he had one darshan of Vishnu, and then he exhibited symptoms of prema, and he left his body and got a spiritual body. But I can't remember reading. Did you remember? I read the story. It's in first canto Bhagavatam, chapter 6, about Narada Muni. But I can't remember to say he got Diksha. But he attained perfection.
How is he disciple of Brahma? Narada Muni.
Well, he's his son. Narada Muni, how he got, there's different kalpas and all these same names are there. And he's a Deva Gandharva, and there's all these Puranas have different histories of the same person in different kalpas and time periods. So it gets so confusing. So the Brahma of Bhagavatam is the son of a maidservant on Earth planet. The Narada Muni of Brahma is born from Mahasaputra of Brahma. He's a Mahasaputra of Brahma, but he's not born from a Sudrani on Earth planet. So there's Narada Muni is the name of a personality, but it's apparently different jivas who even take that post of Narada Muni. Because one time he's a Gandharva, he's a singer, Narada Muni, and one is a Mahasaputra from the mind, born from the mind of Brahma. It gets so confusing. So basically, one Brahma is that Narada Muni, it's a Mahasaputra of Brahma. He's a mantra, whatever mantra, I don't know whatever mantra, you got Gopal mantra or whatever. But what mantra Brahma got? About 18 syllable Gopal mantra from Krishna. So Brahma initiated Narada Muni, the same mantra.
So Narada Muni advised Vyasadeva. That Narada Muni.
That Narada Muni is the guru of Vyasadeva.
And he told the story of his
previous lives. Well, that Narada Muni only quoted his narration with Bhaktivedantas and in previous lives.
Well, yeah.
So
It's still confusing to me. I don't know all these stories, how they work, pan out. One is, when Bhagavatam, I know the Bhagavatam, when his son Sudrani, I don't even know his father who he was. It's not the Brahma and son Sudrani, it is Mahasaputra. The main point of the question is, did he have Diksha? We don't find any description of who his Diksha guru is. This, which Narada, this, that. Because, you see different personalities. These are posts, like the posts of Brahma, Indra, Shiva. These are all different personalities become these positions. So Narada Muni is some Mahasaputra, and there's another Narada. There's Narada Muni sometimes is Gandharva. So there's all different forms of the same person. It's hard to understand all. What's the relevance for our Bhakti Bhajan also? Ultimately, the most essential questions asked are how to improve our bhajan. Whether or not you know this shit or not, or who Siksha Guru is, how does that help you to develop prema for Krishna? In other words, what they usually say is, saintly persons speak very less. They know the goal, they know how to practice to get the goal, and they do their bhajan. There's not much talking required except essential questions. The Bhagavatam starts with six essential questions. The Sutta Goswami has 6 questions. The whole Bhagavatam answers those 6 questions. And then when Shaunak asked a question, Sutta Goswami said, "You're asking good questions. You're asking questions that are essential for human life. So we should ask essential questions. We don't just ask anything off the top of the head. If there's no questions, then Mahaprasad. Don't waste anybody's time, I didn't report that one. What's this one? Net questions? I mean, 90% of questions wouldn't be asked if this principle was employed. Wouldn't be a half-hour session or something.
Gurudev, my question is, whenever I hear or read some intimate Leela of Radha and Krishna, my mind is unable to accept it. I know there is no enjoying tendency there, and also I know that it is done for only Krishna's pleasure. But Maharaj, I am unable to realize it. So my question is, how can I realize it?
Realize what?
Intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Yes.
What do you want to realize? You want to imitate Krishna's pastime? Basically, the question is, someone is reading about intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna, amorous pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and they don't understand it. They're saying, realize it. What it was, realize it, understand it. These pastimes are the end of bhakti, not the beginning of bhakti. The end of bhakti is Radha and Krishna's intimate leelas. So to reach the end of bhakti, there must be some qualification. To understand astrophysics, it's not for a 14-year-old kid. You have to go to high school and study so many different sciences so you can understand astrophysics. There's some preliminary courses and preparation required to understand the intimate pastimes of Krishna. In the 10th canto Bhagavatam, chapter 33, verse 39, I think, it describes, this is the falashruti at the end of Raslila, it describes who can understand, who can get benefit by hearing Krishna's intimate leelas. How does that verse start? Vidrogam Kamam. Begins with A, I can't remember it now. Yeah, verse. Vikriditam, Vikriditam. That's the first time? Yeah. I'll just look it up because I can't remember it. I think it's here. Oh, it's here. Yeah, it's here. This verse explains that the most intimate pastimes of Krishna is Raslila. So first, how can I realize it? So Shukadeva Goswami explains how to understand and realize the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. In 10th canto Bhagavatam, chapter 33, verse 39, it's also quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Atila, chapter 5, verse 48. Vikriti tamvaja vadu viradam cha Vishnu shadan vito nushunayat atavarna yadya bhaktim pram bhagavati pradilabhya kamam vedrogam vinat achyena dhira. It said, a sober person who faithfully and continually hears from his Guru the narration of Krishna's intimate pastimes with the gopis of Vrindavan, and later describes these intimate pastimes, very soon attains prema bhakti, prasha bhakti for Krishna, and becomes free from the heart disease of lust. Lust is binding everybody to the material world. Kam, which means lust. So lust is compared to a disease of the heart, like a fire in the heart that's impossible to put out. The more you put gasoline, the more you put petrol on a fire, the brighter it burns. So to understand intimate pastimes, you need a teacher, you need a guru, and you need to be sober-minded. You need to be a dhira. You need to be sense-controlled. Dhira means control of the senses. And you have to have faith. Faith is not easy to attain. It says shraddhanvito. Means you have to believe that these pastimes are transcendental and these are spiritual bodies and not material bodies. And you have to believe that these pastimes, by hearing and reading about these pastimes, I'll get free from this material energy and I'll attain Krishna. Jiva Goswami says, if one reads intimate pastimes, he experiences Purusha Vikar, which means transformations, which means one becomes excited to enjoy his material senses. In other words, becomes agitated by material desires. You shouldn't read intimate pastimes. But you can read intimate pastimes around Krishna with a peaceful mind and a faithful heart and controlled senses with the blessings of Guru. Then it'll have a tremendous purifying effect and will help your heart become soft and attain attachment to Krishna. But you want to realize, you say, I have trouble realizing these intimate pastimes, then don't read them. You're not realizing them means you don't have the qualification to approach them. So that you have to decide for yourself. The qualification is blessings of Guru. Or blessings of Guru there. Blessings of Guru come by surrendering to Guru, serving Guru, and getting his permission, his agya. Guru agya is order to study such intimate pastime. Shraddha and Guru Kripa and being dhira. Dhira means sense control. Any more questions? That's it. Do you have more questions? So ask you about it. Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Sri Vrindavan Dham.
Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Sri Vrindavan Dham.
Nice weather, huh? Wind and rain. Got good weather. No, that question? No. Okay, Baba.
Maharaj, you said that if one hears this passion, that can destroy the activity.
Yes.
So, but at the same time also, if one has lust, that's not a qualification.
I hear that's right.
If one has lust, then it is not the qualification.
Right?
If one has lust, then he is not qualified to read.
The question is further question. I'm not listening. This keeps recording one long thing. So, the question is, on this idea about intimate pastimes, the Bhagavatam 10th canto, chapter 33, verse 39, says if one hears these pastimes, he gets free from lust. And the qualification here of these fast signs is the blessings and mercy of Guru. And one has faith in the power of these fast signs. And one is sense control. Dhira means he has a peaceful mind and peaceful heart. He gets free from lust. Well, the question is asked, well, that means that if one is lusty, you can't read it. No, that's not the point. The point is the verse just said, the verse says, the verse is talking about us, conditioned souls. Everyone is full of envy, lust, anger, greed, envy. Everybody has all these qualities, lust, anger, greed, envy. So lust is the main, lust means intense desire to enjoy. It can mean man or woman. It can mean just to enjoy the material world. There's also a type of lust. It says Ridrogam Kama. Word kam in Sanskrit means desire, to enjoy. But the fullest expression of enjoyment is man and woman or intimacies between people. Let's say that way. In Kali Yuga it's a little different ideas. But so physical intimacies with human beings is the highest expression of kam. So the verse is addressing those people. If you're a conditioned soul, you're full of lust, everyone's full of lust. So the medicine is Oshadi. The medicine to remove that lust is this Raslila. So okay, you have lust, so read Raslila 100 times a day. But if you get agitated or disturbed when you read about Krishna and the gopis' intimate exchanges, then you should avoid it. This Jiva Goswami said, yeah, Purusha Vikar. Exactly this term is used. Transformation of enjoying spirit. You want to be Krishna, you want to be Radharani, you want to enjoy, you want to imitate them. Then it's having a negative effect. So you should let put it aside. But if you read it with appreciation and with respect, and with the blessings of your Guru, because some gurus, they tell their disciples, don't read this kind of stuff. So you have to judge yourself. If your mind stays peaceful, and you're dhira, you're controlling your senses, your mind's peaceful, you read about these subjects, you think it's beautiful, think it's sweet, you like to be there and serve Radha Krishna during these leelas, then you keep reading. No problem. That's medicine. Lord Chaitanya quotes a verse in Bengali with the same idea, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. He quotes this verse in Sanskrit, and he quotes the verse in Bengali, similar verse. Chaitanya Charitamrita, about the power of hearing Rasalila. Because Rasalila is about the highest form of love. So the opposite of lust is prema. Lust is selfishness, and prema is selflessness. One is sunlight, one is darkness, one is gold, one is iron. Prema is sunlight and gold, and lust is darkness and iron. Lust is selfish, prema is selfless. Lust means everything for me, and prema means everything for Krishna. Everything for Krishna, Guru, and Vaishnava. It's rare to attain such a state of consciousness. Everyone wants a little profit. What's in it for me? Like, what's my percentage? I gotta get a cut. I need some hay. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. No scratching me no scratching you. No scratching me no scratching you. Well, we don't have that philosophy. We serve Krishna. We don't get paid. At one time I met a guy on the street. This is before everybody in this room was born. It was 1975. You guys were in Mars or something. The guys were on Mars and the ladies were on Venus. Way before you manifested your Swarup. And I was on the street selling Bhagavatans. And I sold a Bhagavatam to some businessman in San Francisco on the street. And he said, "You're working for this Krishna guy, right?" I said, "Yeah," it's like that. He said, "You get paid a salary?" I said, "No." I said, "I get 2 chapatis. Do you have any house?" I said, "No, I sleep on the floor in the temple." He said, "Do you have any insurance policy? Do you have any medical insurance?" I said, "No." "Do you have any life insurance?" I said, "No." "Do you have any retirement fund or anything?" I said, "No." "Do you have any bank account?" I said, "No." Do you have any money saved in the bank, like secretly?" I said, "No. I'm a monk. I took a vow of poverty. I have no money. I have no home. I have no insurance. All I have is Krishna." He said, "You're crazy." He said, "What are you going to do when you're 50? He was like 25, I was 24, or whatever, yeah, 24. He was 25, 30, he was a businessman, he was 30. So what are you going to do when you're 50? You have nothing. You'll be flat, you'll be a beggar, you'll be poor. I said, "My dear sir, there's one difference between you and me. I have faith in God, you don't." I said, I'm 24 and God's been taking care of me 24 years. I think He'll take care of me. So from 24 to 74, 50 years have gone by. I still I still don't have any insurance. I don't have any retirement fund. I don't have any job. I don't have any money. I have a nice house, a nice car, and a few friends. So okay. So I'd like to find that guy from San Francisco and say, "Check it out. Do you have a house like this?" I doubted it. "Do you have a garden like this?" I doubted it. So I said, I got it okay. Krishna took good care of me. So if you have faith in Shastra, and you have faith in the teachings, and you have a simple, pure heart, read about Rasa. That's not recorded either. Most of the time I didn't record it. No, I didn't. I have the thing I didn't record. Whatever. Sun Cyber's face. Yeah, it's on this thing. Questions? Any questions? No questions? No questions? Check out Go Energy. No questions? We're going to cut out early retirement. No questions? Any questions? Okay, Baba.
How are Raganuga devotees different? Means they are of course different from the Sahajias. Sahajias also they are.
Our Raganuga devotees are different from Sahajiyas.
Saji and Raganuga Bhakta. Raganuga Bhakta follows Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. And the 6 Goswamis together. Sahajiya generally, we follow the philosophy in Siddhanta of the 6 Goswamis. The Sahajiya philosophy is a little different. Their idea is to attain Radha Krishna Prem by becoming Radha and Krishna. That's called imitation. One person, a man, will take the bob and role of Krishna and surround himself with a group of married ladies. And they'll do bhajan in the mode of Radha and Krishna and gopis. And the idea is by engaging in that man-woman activity, that by imitation, it's called a hangropasana. It's Hangropasana is a limb of bhakti. It's described in Nectar of Devotion. But Hangropasana is given up in Rag Bhakti. Rag Bhakti doesn't do a Hangropasana. And the six Goswamis didn't introduce the Hangropasana as a limb. But Hangropasana means that you fully identify that I am Raktak or Patrak, or you imitate one, you say I am them. Hangropasana is because the Hangropasana means Upasana means method of worship, and Ham means I am that person. I am Radharani, I am Krishna. So sadhus are doing Hangropasana. Upasana means method of worship. We're doing Raganuga Bhaktas are doing Radha Krishna Yuga Upasana. We're worshiping Radha and Krishna, not separate from us. We're there. We're the worshippers, and they're worshipped. But they say, "I am Krishna. You are Gopi. You are Radharani," and they tell bhajans, they sing, and they try to enact those leelas of Radha and Krishna. And by doing Hangropasana, they feel they get blessing, get realization, get praying that way. That's their Siddhanta, and that's their sadhana. But this is not the way of the six Goswamis. Sahaja means, the word sahaja means natural. Sahaja means natural. It's natural for men and women to combine together. So that's material combination which keeps one bound in samsara. Yan maitanadi griyamedi sukami tucham. Kumsa shriya matuni bhavamitam. Vidya grantamaho. Bhagavatam verses describe how man and woman combination binds one to samsara tightly. Vidya grantam, the hearts become tightly bound in illusion of Maya. So they try to take that idea of man and woman and make it transcendental. That's called sadhya. They take what is natural, materially natural, man and woman, and try to make it transcendental. But this is not the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Raganuga Bhaktis have nothing to do with sadhya. It's a separate upasana. Raganuga Bhaktis do Radha Krishna Yuga Upasana, and sadhya do Hangropasana. You can describe it, it's not a type of Raganuga Bhakti, it's called Hangropasana, sadhya Hangropasana. Maybe they call it Raganuga Bhakti, but it's not Raganuga Bhakti according to the definition of six Goswamis. That's funny. One nice question you asked, because anyone is practicing Vaidhi Bhakti, if someone is not practicing Vaidhi Bhakti in some mission, you automatically got a rubber stamp, sadhya. It's just, give the dog a bad name and hang him program, It's something, when people are afraid of something, they try it, when people don't know, people are afraid of the unknown. So when you're afraid of the unknown, you give the unknown a name. Like when we were kids, we were afraid of the boogeyman. Who's the boogeyman? Like I said to my mother when I was a little kid, I grew up in the country, we had a big house in the country and big land and all this stuff. So there was a lot of wind blowing around there in the winter and stuff. And sometimes the window would be open a little bit and the curtain would be moving in the window in the room. And I would get scared. There's somebody in the room. I feel somebody's in the room. I go to my mother. I run to my mother's room. I say, somebody's in my room. And she would come and say, it's just a boogie. He said, it's a boogie. I said, who's the boogie? It's an imaginary, it's an illusion, but it's a non-existent entity. It's an illusion. It's on the fear of the, I was afraid, there was nothing to be, I was afraid of the unknown. Oh, there's some guy in my room. There's nobody in my room. There's just the wind blowing the curtain. I said, there's some guy in the room. So Krishna had the same thing. I'll tell you the story, Krishna's story. Krishna Leela. You ready? When Krishna was little, he was playing. And he would always wander out of the palace and go far away from the palace. So Mother Yashoda was worried because there's tigers in the forest, and she was worried about him. And so Yashoda said to Krishna one day, to Gopal, said, Gopal, don't wander out, don't go outside the palace gates. Don't go outside the palace gates of the palace. He said, why? If you go outside the palace gates, the Havalau, H-A-U-B-A-L-A-U, Havalau, the Havalau will eat you up. And Gopal said, what are the Havalau? He said, they're like big, they have big mouth, and they have 4 legs, like a lion. They have red eyes. And so one day at sunset, Krishna was wandering near the front gate, and he forgot what his mother told him. You know, kids are like that. So he went out the gate. And outside the front gate of the palace, there's 2 lions. There were 2 golden lions with red ruby eyes. Because when Yashoda Ma, when his mother was describing Havala, he said they're like big lions. They're like big golden lions, and they have red eyes, fiery red eyes. And if they see little kids, they'll eat up little kids in a second. So Gopal wandered outside the palace. On either side of the gate, the sun was setting. The sun was setting. It wasn't dark. It wasn't day. It wasn't night. It was kind of dark. You know, dusk. It's called dusk. And he looked and he saw these lions. And he said, "Oh, oh!" And Krishna got scared. They had red eyes. They were golden color, red eyes. He thought they were attacking him. So he ran in the palace. Havala, 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 havala. The Babaji said, what happened? And Gopal said, I saw him, I saw the Havala. The Babaji said, where? There's no such thing. It's imagination. So he said, they're outside the palace gate. Come on, I'll show you. Come on. So they're outside the palace gate. So there's 2 of them. One there, one there. He said, no, Gopal, they're not. They're just statues. They're guarding the gate. Oh, I thought they were Havala. So why did you, don't go on. So this is, so when you say sadhya, it's like Havala. Because I heard so many times, oh, this guy Mahanidhi Swami, he's a sadhya. Oh, Havala. He's a Havala. He's a Havala. He's a boogeyman. So any more questions? I can see any more questions? On that funny note, I think we'll end. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. How below?